What if that simple penny in your pocket was more than just spare change? The 1980 Lincoln cent may look ordinary, but it marks the end of an era, one of the last true copper coins in U.S. history before everything changed. Let's dig into the story behind this small but mighty piece of American coinage. Welcome back to Coins Heritage, the channel where every coin tells a story. If you enjoy learning about the history, design, and hidden value of U.S. coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our latest coin videos. Our featured coin today is the 1980 Lincoln 1 cent USA coin, a classic piece that carries the proud legacy of the Lincoln cent design, a design that's been in American pockets for more than a century. Let's start with its design. On the obverse, we see the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909 for the centennial of Lincoln's birth. His dignified profile faces right, surrounded by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1980 to the right. Just below the date, you might find a tiny D mint mark for the Denver Mint, or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. Turn the coin over to the reverse, and you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a masterpiece by Frank Gasparo. This design replaced the wheat ears reverse in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The words "United States of America" and "E pluribus unum" appear above the memorial, while 1 cent is boldly displayed below. If you look closely, you can even spot the tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial, a clever detail that links both sides of the coin. Now, let's talk about the composition. The 1980 penny was struck using the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy, weighing 3.11 grams. It was one of the last years before the U.S. Mint began experimenting with cheaper materials due to rising copper prices. Just 2 years later, in 1982, the Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition, which weighs only 2.5 grams. That makes the 1980 penny one of the last true heavy copper cents, and a favorite among collectors who appreciate its rich color and solid feel. The mintage numbers were massive. The Philadelphia Mint produced about 7.4 billion coins. The Denver Mint struck over 5 billion, bringing the total to more than 12 billion 1980 pennies. That means these coins are very common today, but their historical and collectible value still attracts many numismatists, especially in high grades. In circulated condition, a 1980 Lincoln penny is usually worth 1 to 3 cents. An uncirculated example, MS65 red, can bring $5 to $10, while higher grade pieces in MS67 red can reach $100 to $250, depending on quality and demand. There are also a few error varieties from this year that make things exciting for collectors. Look for off-center strikes, die cracks or die chips, double die obverses, where the lettering or date looks slightly doubled. These can add anywhere from $25 to $200 in value, depending on rarity and visual appeal. Now, let's put this coin in its historical context. The year 1980 was a pivotal time in America, a year of economic challenges, new technology, and big cultural moments. Inflation was high, the country was preparing for a presidential election, and the cost of producing coins was becoming a concern for the U.S. Mint. Every penny mattered. Literally. The 1980 Lincoln cent represents the final chapter of the classic copper era. Its metal composition gives it intrinsic value that modern pennies just don't have anymore. In fact, the copper in a single 1980 penny is worth more than 1 cent based on metal prices alone. Though, of course, melting them down is illegal. This coin also reflects America's resilience. Even through economic hardship, the Mint continued producing billions of these coins to keep the nation's commerce flowing. Every 1980 penny that passes through your hands carries a tiny piece of that history. So the next time you spot a 1980 Lincoln cent, take a closer look. It might be common, but it's one of the last true copper cents. A piece of history you can hold in your hand. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Coins Heritage. We'll keep exploring America's most fascinating coins, from hidden treasures to historical classics. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.